What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Don't forget as well, please, to like and share the vids. Again, thank you so much to everyone that continues to do that. You can also support the channel as well. I do have a Patreon account. The link is in the description. All right, before we talk all things Joseph Parker and his opponent and what's going on with Joseph Parker's career, because I do feel like it's stagnated a little bit, let's have a quick look at this fight card. This fight card that Joseph Parker's on takes place 29th of February in Texas. And I actually think it's a very decent fight card. Very decent. Headlined by Mikey Garcia versus Jesse Vargas. That's going to be a decent fight. The co-main event is Cal Yafai versus Roman Gonzalez. That's a world title fight. That's going to be a good fight. 3-4 years ago, Cal Yafai doesn't even get out of round 2 with Gonzalez. Obviously, this is a different Gonzalez now, but I think if there is even 70% or 60% of that Gonzalez left, then he beats Cal Yafai, but I'm not sure if there is. We'll see. Again, good fight, right? Julio Cesar Martinez, the guy that's been running through fucking everyone at flyweight, he takes on the unbeaten Jay Harris. Joseph Parker takes on Shawndell Winters. We'll talk about that one in a minute. Gassiev is on this card. Gassiev, who I don't think has fought, I can't remember to go and check his box rec here, but I don't think he's fought since the World Boxing Super Series final. He's on the card, makes his heavyweight debut against Jerry Forrest. Then you've got a couple of prospects. Israel Madrimov is on the card. Jesse Rodriguez is on the card, and Diego Pacheco, who I'm interested in seeing his development. I watched him. He was an undercard for AJ versus Ruiz. I actually think, could be wrong here, but I think he came in just before Joshua Ruiz. I think he came in just before that, which is massive for him, right? Because that means everyone was tuned in and watching him. Very big super middleweight. So yeah, that's the full fight card. That's fucking decent, right? You got 2 legit world title fights. You got Mikey Garcia versus Jesse Vargas, decent fight at 147. You got Joseph Parker. I know it's not in the fight we want to see him in, but Joseph Parker's on the card. Gassiev making his heavyweight debut, and then you got 3 prospects. That's almost like a perfect card for me. I know people will say, Ade, you're Matchroom fanboy. I'm not. I'm just thinking it's a good card. If I had to score this card out of 10, it's a solid 8. I think it's a solid 8. I can't wait to see that Julio Cesar Martinez. I mean, fucking hell, that guy is a problem at flyweight. Problem, right? But yeah, all right, that's that. Let's talk about Joseph Parker. We haven't seen Joseph Parker in the ring since he beat Alex Lepai back in June of 2019. That was a TKO. He was obviously supposed to fight Derek Chisora after, but spider bite happened. That fight didn't happen. And I'm very disappointed that fight didn't happen because I thought that would have been a great fight between those two. He did call for the fight again. He was campaigning for it. Hasn't happened. And now we get to see him in against someone called Shondell Winters. I don't mean to be rude when I say someone called Shondell Winters. It's just that I've never heard of Shondell Winters before. I have to be honest with you. Never heard of him. Yeah, never heard of him before. Let's look at his record very quickly. Shondell Winters. I had a look at this briefly before, but his record is 13-2-0. Of those 13 wins, 12 have been by knockout. Of the 2 losses, 1 by knockout and 1 by majority decision, I think. Yeah, 1 by majority decision. He's 39. This is the scary part. He's 39 and he turned pro 5 years ago. So he turned pro at 34. Now, in all fairness, that is possible, right? If you've had an extensive amateur career, right, you stayed on too long, then fair dues. I had a little research about this guy. There is no extensive amateur career. Why are you turning pro at 34, 35? What's the reason? I'm not quite sure. I'm sure there is a reason, but I don't know what it is. So, yeah, I can understand why everyone is disappointed. I can understand. Look, I can see and I can fully understand what Joseph Parker is doing here. Joseph Parker is clearly waiting for Anthony Joshua to vacate the WBO belt, which he probably will, because Anthony Joshua, it looks like, will sign on to fight Pulev, so he's got to vacate the WBO, it seems. If he does do that, then Joseph Parker is in line to fight for that belt, right? And he's probably in line to fight Alexander Usyk. That's why he's waiting. He's waiting. He doesn't want to roll the dice, I don't think, against anyone of note when he looks like he's in line for a world title fight. That's just what he's doing. It's disappointing because, look, Joseph Parker's a former world champion. I think we forget that. And for me, he's still a top 10 heavyweight. I can't think of 9 heavyweights that beat Joseph Parker. So for me, a top 10 former world champion shouldn't be fighting Shawndell Winters. It's that simple. I mean, he shouldn't get away with doing this. I wouldn't accept Dillian Whyte doing this. I don't think at this stage I'd even accept a Derek Chisora fighting a Shawndell Winters, right? We would critique Chisora online, we would go crazy. But for some reason, Joseph Parker is getting away with it. I mean, don't tell me there aren't other heavyweights that Matchroom couldn't match him with. Michael Hunter's begging for a fight. Michael Hunter, go and check his Twitter page, is literally on Twitter every other day calling out fighters. I think 2 days ago, he called out Dillian Whyte. He's begging for a fight. Why not do that? Why not do that? It's extremely disappointing, and I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what's going on with Joseph Parker's career, if I'm honest with you. Again, this is a guy that's only had 2 defeats, right? 1, no embarrassment, took AJ all the way in what was a kind of close-ish fight, by the way. Watch it again. It wasn't AJ steamrolling him. It was a close fight, weird fight. Referee kind of got involved too much. Then he had that fight against Dillian Whyte. Again, that fight goes on another minute. He probably stops Dillian Whyte. Why the drop-off? I mean, why the drop-off? Because before this kid that he's fighting, he fought Alex Lapai. And before that, I'm trying to think of the name of the guy he's fought. Let's have a quick look. Alexander Flores. How's he getting away with that? Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing. Again, this is not me discrediting Shawndell Winters. It's just how highly I rate Joseph Parker, and he shouldn't be doing this. But again, the reason he's doing this is because obviously he knows a lot more than we do, and I think he knows that AJ is going to vacate the WBO, and I think he fancies his chances against Alexander Usyk. I do. I still think that means, because some people might ask what's going on with Chisora Usyk, I still think it means Chisora Usyk will happen, but it doesn't happen for a world title, right? You still get to see that fight, and I think Usyk's confident he thinks he can get through Chisora, and thus it will set up a fight between him and Joseph Parker, which, look, will be a great fight. It's funny because if Parker fights Usyk in the summer, then we'll even forget about this Shawndell Winters. But I think there are far too many decent heavyweights in the top 30 for Joseph Parker to be fighting him. There was a rumor about Joseph Parker possibly fighting Daniel Dubois. Yeah, just a rumor. But yeah, what do you guys make of this? I mean, are you okay with it? I'm not okay with a guy that I consider a top 10 heavyweight having Flores, Lapai, and Winters as your last 3 fights. No, I'm not okay with that at all. I think that's bad. That's bad. But again, the reason he's doing it, people, is because he knows that he's going to fight for the vacant WBO belt, because Joshua is definitely being stripped. If not that, he will vacate. So yeah, that's what's going on. What do you guys think? Let me know. Peace.